managers of the companies. Also, I teach an MBA course, lectures about leadership and virtual teams at University of Pompeu Fabra in Barcelona, and occasionally also at the University of Valencia, just to show that there is actually a science that helps us understand what do we do with people at work. Also, I'm the founder of Tech Connect community here in Valencia. It's mainly for Russian-speaking expats, but we've been doing it for a couple of years now, and we are also arranging these types of events. So, if you speak Russian, but by any chance, join us.
And you have to cast.
Do it? No.
For the pose, no?
Not actually. This is the symbol that I came up with. This is my mascot.
Up and on the right.
Up on the yeah. No, this is just the supporting, hands like, you can do this, All right. So my question to you first, I would like to speak about trust and how we build trust at work. How is the job market? Do you know currently? What's happening in the job market here in Spain or in Europe?
Very hard.
Why is it hard? As always?
Yes.
What's hard about it?
Well, in my case, I was part of a round of a layoff at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
I was doing some interviews and
Yeah.
failing.
Oh.
Many times, yes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am trying to improve my skill at all levels. So this is why I'm here, because I want to understand the psychology side of
Yeah.
a new job,
Yeah.
being hired for a new job.
That's a good investment.
Yeah.
Good. Any other opinions about the job market currently?
It's crazy.
It's crazy. What makes it crazy?
I think not all companies decide themselves what they want even.
Yeah, not all people understand this. What do we expect from the companies?
It's difficult because you are talking to completely different universaries. One company is at one stage and
Yeah.
another company somewhere else, and you don't understand where you position yourself and all this.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's really challenging. It's really complicated in current economy. Well, I'm not sure that in any year of the history of humanity we didn't say in this economy, right? But now I feel like we need to say this in this economy. But let's just jump in the happy future where we just found a job. Everyone who needs it. Are any more people looking for a job now currently? Raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay. So 50% of the room. Let's just let's just imagine.
Unemployment rate.
Yeah, unemployment rate is 50% in this room. Okay. I gave a similar talk in Berlin in March or April, I don't even remember, and they had 30% unemployment rate. Yeah, that's also true. So I suggest you just to imagine the time where you finally got a job. You have this offer now. You have the free cookies in the kitchen and all the package with everything that you wanted. And of course, you want to keep it because you were working so hard to get it, right? But it's not the final point yet. So the offer is just the beginning of something new. And I'm not the career consultant to help you look for a job or to help you understand what are the skills you need to present when you're looking for a job. But I'm an organization. I struggle I've been studying organizational psychology since 2007, and I still cannot pronounce it correctly. I still stumble every time. Okay, sorry. As an organizational psychologist, I would like to show you what's happening when you just enter the new job and you're trying to build people relations. Because yes, they might hire you for your hard skills, right? They do all kinds of tests and everything to evaluate your competencies, basically. But then there are a lot of things that are about organizational and personal fit. So how do you communicate with others? How do you interact? How do you build a team? So we'll talk about this. And from my point of view, your ability to build trust is the secret key that would help you get through this probation period to a stable employment. How long is the probation period here in Spain?
6 months.
6 months. This is hell of time. 6 months to build the trust. Okay, let's go on the journey. First, I would like to ask you, what do you think is trust? How do you define trust?
When no one is checking what you are doing.
Right. Yeah.
Something like that.
No micromanagement.
Yeah.
What else?
Others can rely on you to do something.
Yes, they can rely on you to do something. That's true. There is also a scientific definition. I don't remember it by heart, so we'll just read it aloud as if you cannot read. It's a psychological state comprising the intention to accept vulnerability based on positive expectations of the intentions of behavior or not. Did you understand anything from this? It's quite complicated. So basically, if you trust somebody, you choose to be vulnerable. Like, for example, I choose to delegate the task and not to micromanage it, right? And I'm vulnerable in this position. I'm not really sure what's going to happen there. But then I intentionally choose this vulnerability and this risk because I trust this person. So we really need it at work to get the autonomy, for example, to have this feeling of competency, and so on and so forth. And also the employer needs it because everyone wants to trust their workers, but then they don't really. Trust is a complicated thing, and you can see the factors that influence trust. So basically, this is the perceived trustworthiness. So I interact with you, and then I see what are your characteristics. And based on it, I make a conclusion to trust you, to be vulnerable with you, or not to. But also, apart from this, there are like a bazillion factors that affect whether we trust each other or not. Like our own characteristics. If I'm really nervous, if my neuroticism is high, I will trust you less. Like everyone, I will not trust anyone. That's just my personal characteristics, Also, there is a thing that's called propensity to trust, perception of risk, and so on and so forth. But today, we will just focus on the thing that we can control. And these are, oh my God, this is a question, I didn't expect it. And these are the 3 pillars of trust. So if you want to be perceived as a trustworthy person, you basically need these 3 things to show integrity. Integrity is the way of behavior when you have values and you act according to these values. The second one is the ability. Basically, it's about how you make your job, how do you, whether you are competent and reliable or not. And the third one is benevolence. Do you know this word? So it's your ability to show that you care about others. I have a story about benevolence. Me, myself, I'm a leader of this technical community, right? And I have a group of volunteers. We don't really pay for this job because it's non-profit. But then in my team, I have one person who really needs to improve their language skills. And also I had a partnership invitation from an English school. And at the same time, in one moment, I'm like, okay, this clicks. I have a person who needs to learn English. I have an invitation from these people who would like to advertise their language school with us. So I just make it happen because it's important for me that this person in my team, even though I do not pay them, still has his interest. What's the word for this? Accounted, right? Okay, so this is the benevolence. And we will start, the talk will be about each element. We have 20 minutes left. About each element and how do you build it at work. So the first one is ability. So for example, we have the Leo here, and let's imagine he got his first job. So he has his first task, and this is to plan the tech VLC fest, let's say. I needed some shared context, right? So we are here. Let's imagine. There is no clear goal there. Let's just make it happen. Make it good, right? Make it good. That's it. No deadline, unclear stakeholders. How can you show your ability when getting a task like this at work? That's complicated. You need to prove somehow that you have the skills, right? You need to make it happen. Everyone is looking at you. It's your probation period. Sorry.
The line should set the goal deadlines and stakeholders
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, that's a very good first step. You need to start clearing up the goal itself, and it's a very good thing.
No
Yeah.
definition of done, no kind of nothing to show.
Have you seen my slides before?
Okay. That's first time.
That's very good. You couldn't have seen it because I just made them yesterday morning. So, okay, definition of done is the first really good step at any job, right? Let's just make a checklist. How does the result look like? What is done? How does this fest should look like? What is the audience? How many people should we attract? Who should be involved? What are the topics? Let's define this. Oh my God, I should have asked you what questions would you ask. Maybe you have some more to ask. Anything more from your managers, like about this fest?
What do we want to achieve?
Yeah, what do you want to achieve? Why? Why are we making this in the end, right? So yeah, the purpose would be the first good question for any task. And I know that when you're like just getting your job, sometimes you might feel hesitant to ask this because you don't want to seem, like I'm the one who is too like too goal-oriented there. But actually, this is a very good question to clear up any context. Another one, who is it for? Another one, what are the completion criteria? And here we remember our good old criteria SMART. Do you know the goal setting framework SMART? Everyone knows it, right? So it should be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. So if you, as a first step, if you show that you're ready to define the done, it already forms a perception of ability in others. I will not go through all these things. So you can make a picture now, or in the end, you will have the checklist of all the three. But apart from definition of done, other ways to show the ability, it's more about the IT job because I assumed somehow that we are coming from technical background more or less here. Not sure about this, but then deliver something small, like small wins, always work. Map workflows. If you don't know how something is working, just map it. Just make a process about it. Just show it to others and say, okay, I care and I can do things. Look, blocker log. So these are the obstacles that you have completing any task. Then learning goals. I don't know something, but I have this plan to learn it. Communicate progress and get feedback loop, which are really connected. Okay, next one. Second pillar of trust is the integrity. This is your ability to do the right things consistently. And how would you show integrity at work? First of all, you have to respect the norms. When I delivered this talk in Berlin last time, I also had this example. And then I had a question. And what if you were hired to disrupt the norms? That's totally another situation, okay? So normally, when we just start our probation period and during the onboarding process, we have to learn how the team functions, how the company functions, how good is defined, what behavior is expected, what is not expected. Do you know what are the ways to learn the norms of the company or of the team? Asking, right? Conference?
Confluence, company.
Confluence,
yes,
yeah.
Company, papers, or
Yeah.
documents.
Yeah. Study the document base. Also, in good companies, they also have this thing as a buddy program. You know, when you just come during the onboarding process, if everything is okay with HR process and the team, they assign a buddy to you, and you can ask questions to this buddy. If they do not have good HR processes, give them my number, and we will we will tackle that. Okay, another one. Link output to goals is really good thing. So coming back to the ability. Okay, now we have the definition of done of TechVLC. What is this? Festival, right? But if every step you take will be connected to the purpose that we cleared up in the very beginning, right? Then it will show the integrity in the way that you have the system thinking, you're hardworking, you're like your logic is very clear, and it also forms trust in others. Another thing that is really hard to, might be really hard to master, is to own mistakes. I read lectures, right? I read lectures in the university, and also read lectures. I sell lectures to my followers in Instagram, yeah, because I'm a diva. I had a lecture about team efficiency, and I used a model about group formation stages by Tuckman. Don't even remember, don't even think about it. And at some point, after the second lecture, I realized that this approach, it lacks evidence. So I made a mistake. There are some better models. There are some more advanced research about this, right? And what I did, I posted a whole reel about it. I said, okay, people, so before I was saying that this is a good model, but actually I was wrong. It's not. There is another one that is better. We might think that there is some perfection and ideal professional who knows all the answers to all the questions. But actually these people, they do not exist. Even if they pretend, they have ChatGPT there, right? They do not know all the answers, no. And once you own your mistake and you show your willingness to fix it, it also works on trust building really well. Okay, so integrity. Traceable work. So if you do something, document it. It's very good practice. Close loops. If somebody is coming to you with some task, make sure that you complete it to some point. Link output to goals, update documents, respect norms, escalate risks early, and own mistakes. Do you remember what the third component of trust is? Benevolence. Good. Good. Yeah, that's the ability to show others that you care about their interests. And I think that this component, you cannot really document it. It's not really 100 of ways to say, okay, I care about your interests. No, you just actually have to care about the interests of others. There is the only shortcut to this. So just some clues. It's very, like, with this component, it depends on the context a lot. So ask people, what is your interest? What does success look like? And how can I contribute to your success? Like, sit down next to them and say, I'm in your team. What can we do together, right? Show respect of time of others, of their resources. Then make others look good. If you have some negative feedback, keep it for one-on-one conversations. If you notice that somebody is saying something that is nonsense, like, it's not really obligatory to point it out right away. There are some better and nicer ways to do this. Offer small help, avoid blame language, and also if you're in your onboarding process, you can also come back with the feedback about your onboarding during the process to HR. Say, okay, I really appreciate this and that. This is done really good. And this one, I think we can work on improving it together, because from my experience, we can tackle it differently. So right away, you show to HR person that you're an ally. That is good. We like it for our careers. Right. So this is how you show benevolence. And these are 3 pillars of trust. And what is beautiful about them is that trust does not really depend on cultural norms. Trust is a kind of universal thing for all the human beings. And of course, we have some hierarchical questions there. Maybe in some cultures it would be more applicable, in some less. But still, these 3 pillars, they would lead to trust building in almost any culture. They're multinational. But as I was saying in the very beginning, there are a lot of other factors that affect trust. According to research, some more things that you can show is to show up as an expert by doing your job great. So it's not only about trust. No, they will not keep you if you will just be a nice person, most of the time. And also transparency. And in the last section of this lecture, I wanted to, no, it's not lecture, of this talk, I wanted to show you one tool how to build transparency at work. And I suggest you to pull out your phones and make this one together. Have you heard about the personal manuals before? Good. So personal manual is a document that any of you can write down and use it for team collaboration. So we have 5 minutes for this, and I suggest you to open notes so that you leave this room with a draft of your personal manual that later on you can feed to ChatGPT. No, that later on you can finish and use at work, right? So just open your notes and think about your superpowers. How others, your team members or your leaders or your coworkers, they can get the best from you. What are the working conditions and situations where you're most productive, creative, and inspired? Let's take a moment to think about it. If anyone would like to share, go ahead. I see you want to share, right? Go ahead. Anyone? I can start. For example, the best working condition for me is when I work in the silence in the morning, and I prefer not to talk to people. And I know that I'm just the most productive in this period of time, so that, for example, I block this time in my calendar most of the times. I don't have any meetings there because I really need it for productive work. And when I work in the team, I also share this. I'm like, okay, it's quite late in the evening. It's after 5 p.m. No, I'm not working anymore. I cannot concentrate. So let's just leave it for tomorrow's morning. And this builds transparency, right? It builds transparency. Here is what I am, and here is the way I work. The second one is your area for improvement. Think about what is your development area. What are you working on currently as a professional? You didn't share with me your superpowers. I assume the areas of improvement are a total no-go, right? No-go.
I can share the first 8 items if you want.
Yes, please.
In my case, I am more productive when I can focus on one thing at a time.
Right.
Without too many switching contexts. In that case, I'm more productive.
Yes, it's very good. It's very good. The areas of improvement, there are quite a lot of personal manual examples in the internet. Like you have people from Google, from Netflix sharing their personal manuals. And I remember one really good example. I think now this person is a head of engineering at Netflix or something like this. Like he has really high position in a very cool company. And what he does is that every time after the feedback cycle, he pushes his areas of improvement into his open GitHub repo. So he just shows it to everyone. He's like, okay, this is who I am, and this is what I'm currently working on. And this is just a shortcut to trust, because if I'm sharing my area for improvement, right away, I show up as a vulnerable person. And I'm like, okay, here is my belly, you can stop it. And it works really well.
But this also looks like the transfer of responsibility. So you share with others like where your weak points are and let them deal with your weak points. So you are not working on your weak points, but you just say, hey, I'm not strong in this, do what you want. But
yeah, if we frame it like this, it would not work. But apparently, if somebody is sharing your area for improvement, it's called area for improvement because you're supposed to be improving it somehow. This is what, well, Of course, like we're not living in a perfect world with pink ponies pooping the rainbows, right? And there are some people, and always will be people like who will point out to this. And this is not my thing. Just go do it yourself, right? But if we are talking about conscious people, if we are talking about conscious managers and leaders, they are sharing this to also to have the social responsibility. Like for example, my area of improvement is that sometimes I talk too fast during the public talks. And the first couple of years of my public speeches, I used to come to the audience and say, okay, people, sometimes I just go really fast. So please, I need your feedback, right? I need you to slow down, slow down. I need to see this so that I'm not sharing the responsibility. I'm showing that I'm open for feedback. I'm working on this, and I cannot improve unless I have some input from you. Yeah, we had another.
Yeah, I can give just my example on this one because I received feedback from my managers that like sometimes I can rumble out on some specific problems in meetings. I just wanna find the root cause, so I talk and talk and talk about this. It gets negative, and I just can't stop myself. So I shared this with my teams, with managers, with team members, and asked them like, if you notice in a meeting, just DM me.
Yeah.
We defined a keyword like,
Right.
so I could like acknowledge it and understand, okay, I'm doing this again, so I could define those patterns, but yeah, I needed help because I could not see it myself.
Sure.
So I had to share with them, that's what I'm working on my communication and this like issue of being stuck on negatives, just give me feedback so I could just fix it, and it helps.
Okay.
Sure.
So it did help, right? Cool. Glad for you. Okay, I will not torture you with with next one. I saw you've been making pictures of it, so this is your homework now. And this is another slide to make pictures. So basically, there are several things that you can do at work to build trust. The first one is about showing up as a person with high internal standards of work. It's about integrity. The second one is about your ability, is basically being competent and reliable. And the third one is about benevolence. And I think this point, it might be overlooked most of the time. But then, unconsciously, we make our decisions whether to trust somebody or not to trust somebody based on whether they are able to take our interest into account. We all want this. Okay, questions now about trust at work. Look, the microphone is so fluffy. You can just ask questions for the ability to be able to hold it in your hands. It looks so appealing. I'm thinking about the question for myself to be able to hold it.
Yeah, hi again. So the simple question, what's the common maybe mistakes when the people try to build the trust? Maybe the usual mistakes when what they do wrong.
What they do wrong. What do people do wrong? I think one of the common mistakes is that they confuse trust with intimacy and try and build trust upon trauma dumping. You know, it works, but it's not the best thing for the work relationship. Truly. Another question is that people do not take into account that building trust takes time. According to research, it takes us about 6 months to start trusting others. Also, according to research, in teams where we trust others by default, our performance is higher than in the teams where we just do not trust each other by default. So time is really important, but also trusting people in the new team might be beneficial for the company and for organization, for the results. Yeah, I think these are the two main points.
Hi, really nice talk. My question is, do this process to build this trust is different now with remote works and this kind of teams with e-remote and everything?
Yeah.
Because one of the examples that you said is you are with the other people just side by side and
Yeah,
have
yeah.
some kind of conversation. But nowadays that we have a lot of jobs like this remote mode,
That's true.
I mean, which are the difference to handle this?
Yes, that's a very good question. First of all, the research shows that in virtual teams, trust is as important as in co-located teams. So it's not more important for productivity, and it's not less important. So it's the same level. It plays the same role for performance. This is the first point. The second point is that when we work remotely, we don't have these environmental clues. So we don't have the body language, we don't have the gestures, we don't have the friendly nods, right? It's just cut. We don't see the pants of people. How can we trust people? We don't know if they have pants on. But that's true, it just works like this. We're not built for remote work. So if you're working remotely, ideally, there should be additional rituals to help people get to know each other more. That's why some great remote companies like Atlassian or Duis, for example, or who else? I don't know anymore. I used to say remote before, but remote, okay, we are being recorded. So, yeah, these companies, they have, for example, in Atlassian, they have a head of anywhere. So, anywhere, working for anywhere, I mean. So they have a special department working on culture for remote teams. They get together every year or half a year just to, to make people see their fans. Also, my last position was, when I was employed, was the head of people and culture in an American fintech company, and we were fully remote. And to make people trust each other more, we built a lot of rituals that is not about working, but it's about communicating, cohesion, getting to know each other, and so on and so forth. So you need more conscious efforts for this. That's 100%. Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
My question is, what happens or what could you do when you think you act like that with integrity, ability, benevolence, the necessary, and you feel you are not trusted enough?
Okay. As I was saying, trust doesn't really depend only on you. So if you show up as these three things consistently over time, you don't really control it. You raise the chance that people will trust you, but it's not 100%. So I would say that it just takes time, and it just takes a lot of honest conversations with this person who doesn't trust you. Like for example, take this feedback model that is called SBI, Situation, Behavior, Impact, and speak about it with the person who doesn't trust you. So in this situation, and you describe the context, you did this and that, and it made me feel that you don't trust me, and I don't feel comfortable with this situation. Would you please help me understand what is the status there? Like, how do you see it? So basically, talk to people. That's my answer. Also, the disclaimer there, of course, not everyone is conscious enough. Not everyone is ready for reflection. Not everyone is ready to share what's inside, but at least you do what you can control. And this kind of conversation is also an act of trust. Look, I'm vulnerable in front of you. I'm trying to see how do we work together as a team, for example. And it doesn't depend this is your step forward, right? And it doesn't depend on you whether the person is going to make their step forward as well. But you can try. Okay, another question over there?
Thank you very much. What, from your perspective, can great companies do to promote trustworthy employees? Because very often, like in performance reviews and stuff like that, trust really matters, right? It's just performance, how are your hard skills and stuff like that. But if you ask a coworker, I think one key question is always, who do you trust if you have an issue? Who do you go to? So what can companies do to promote trustworthy employees more?
Personally, me, I do not believe in trust in corporations, unfortunately. This is not my kind of religion, you know. There are some people who believe in this. What can companies do? All right. So companies can build any kinds of programs that would support people in their personality growth and development. Because most of the time in corporations, the values are really external, right? So it's about be better than others, make the market share grow, or get the next position and you will have a raise of 1.5% of your salary next year, maybe. So it's very external, right? And people are fueled by these external factors, and by default, they're not acting based on integrity. They're by default acting based on stimuli, so to say. So I would say that if we do not have, in any organization, in any team, if we don't have people with decent ego maturity, we will not be able to promote trust. But this is another philosophical topic, so I already feel that I'm going a little too deep on that. Yeah?
I can add also not perfect solution, but that's not the question. Yeah, we, as a company, we had a set of values, and because it was a question about performance, we made company values part of performance, so all people could give peer feedback based on the values, and build trust is one of the values, so it helped us to gather feedback and examples from like all your peers on trust specifically, so it's kind of made trust part of the performance evaluation, even though I tried then to remove performance evaluations completely, but it's a different story.
Okay. No, I would like to hear an example. So during the performance review, what can be an example of an employee who built trust at work? And
that was more of a question in the form. So as a peer of someone, I need to evaluate how this person built trust, and then I provide specific examples. When I had this task, I needed to do that, I delegated it to this person, and they did it without me reminding them, and it was...
So they assessed ability mainly?
Yeah.
Okay,
so
nice.
and different types of examples based, quite often it was related to some deadlines or something, because people remember that more. Something production broke on Friday, and they had to stay on Saturday to fix it, and such type of examples as well. But it depends. But it just helped to get feedback and see who are more trustworthy.
Yeah, that's actually another very good tool. The feedback and the way it's shared and the way it's perceived, embraced, is also another really good technical tool to build trust. I share feedback in a normal way, using without attacking your personality, and then you take this feedback and you work on it. That's a trust building mechanism.
And it was part of our user manual as well. How do I receive feedback? How do I prefer to receive feedback? It helped me because all my team they just shared in a meeting how they prefer to get feedback, and they immediately knew, okay, that's how we operate. So.
Actually, coming back to your question, personal manual is one of the ways to build transparency and trust. Feedback loops is another way of doing that. And also building cohesion, so any type of team routines, retrospectives that people feel psychologically safe to share what's happening at work, giving employees voice and space. These are all the practices, but I'm not refusing anything I said before this at the same time. I think we have time just for one more question? Two? Two questions more. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to dig a bit deeper into what we've been talking about. How do you handle, because I think all of this list of qualities we can all agree on, but the devil is in the interpretation each of us makes of these things. And you can see, for example, respecting the norm. oftentimes can go against the spirit of the norm and things like that. Or the definition of done for one person might vary from another person, and so on and so forth. How do you align all these kind of things?
Through team alignment, yay!
Yeah,
There's
in general, yeah.
There is a really good tool that I recommend for all the teams to start their work, and it's called Team Canvas. And this is basically a very good tool to clear up what are our roles, what are our expectations, what are our responsibilities, how do we define our values, how do we define definition of done, how do we communicate. So there is no way to align the team apart from talking to them. Talking to other people, managing the conflict and facilitating the process of ideas generation, for example. Yeah. I see you're disappointed, I'm sorry. Me as a psychologist, I do not have any other.
I'm just thinking, maybe if you discuss it on the line, you can still not agree in the final.
That's, it means that your facilitator is not doing a good job. So. There are room for improvement. Okay, the last one.
So my question is about messaging and specifically about timing in that. And maybe it's not about the corporate world or the teams, but in general in business. For example, in LinkedIn, what is the best timing to answer the question in order that to be normal, like 24 hours or 49 hours window? And then another question, if ignoring happened from my side, and the trust was lost because of that. So how to come back in an appropriate way to, to reconnect with the person.
Got it. I gotta return the question to you. What do you think is a normal time to answer the message?
For me, I think 48 hours if I'm answered in this window, it's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
So there is no single source of truth about this question. As long as it's agreed and communicated in your relationship, any kind of relationship, it's fine. For some people, it might be 5 minutes. I have my best friend, she's always on the phone. If it's not 5 minutes, where is she? And so there is a scandal, there is drama, right? And then, so in our relationship, we have this rule, we have this psychological contract. And if for some business, it's a term, I didn't make it up, psychological contract, yeah. For some people, for some businesses, it's different. So the way to handle it is to communicate it. Okay, let's agree that in 48 hours, I reply to you. And you should expect this. You just manage expectations, right? Regarding the second part of your question, that's very funny, because there is a whole scientific paper about 11 strategies to rebuild trust after it was disrupted. And there is also the 6 components of effective apology, because saying sorry is not enough. But moreover, saying sorry doesn't have any significance on whether the trust will be rebuilt or not. So saying sorry is nothing, basically. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry, right? The right way for this situation would be to own the mistake. To say, I did this, and I'm sorry for this, and I'm ready to fix it somehow. So it's not about saying sorry, it's not about the apology itself. It's about owning the mistake and showing that you're open to rebuild. This is the first step, and I was saying like 11 strategies, 10 strategies more. I'm sorry I'm not selling this article now, this is the perfect one. But okay, I can share it somehow. I don't know whether we will be able to share the materials maybe. Or you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. And ask me, and I will share the name of the article with you. Just remind me, what is it about? How fast? I'm not replying fast on LinkedIn, people. Don't expect me. Yeah, that's a good question. Definition of done, right? Very good. So expect the answer from me in 1 working week.
That's good.
Thank you, thank you. All right, thank you very much for showing up. I really hope that you are bringing back home some important and interesting things about trust, how to build it, how to make the manual, how to present yourself at work. And I wish all of you to be able to build good quality and trustworthy relationship anywhere and with anyone you choose, upon consent. Thank you.